At 5, here we go again.
Countdown to shutdown. This time around, the fate of thousands of federal workers could be on the line. Good evening to you, everyone. I'm Natasha Brown.
And I'm Yuki Washington. With just 7 hours left until a critical midnight deadline, it's looking more and more likely the government is headed for a shutdown tonight. This will be the first D.C. stalemate since December of 2018, and that one lasted 35 days.
And here is what a shutdown could possibly look like. Hundreds of thousands of federal workers will face the threat of mass layoffs. Many more will go without a paycheck, including active duty military. Also among the first impacts, the FDA may even stop inspections. Flights might be delayed because of staffing shortages, and national parks and monuments could go unstaffed. CBS Philadelphia's Dan Snyder is on Independence Mall with that part of our story tonight. But we begin with Liz Crawford and the immediate crisis facing so many families right here in this area. Liz.
Well, if a shutdown occurs, people who receive SNAP benefits, formerly known as food stamps, and WIC benefits, which are for pregnant women and babies, could be impacted depending on how long the shutdown lasts. Let's talk SNAP benefits first. Nearly 500,000 people in Philadelphia alone receive benefits from the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program every month to feed their families. Now, based on what's happened during other government shutdowns, experts say SNAP recipients will receive their payments for the first month. If a shutdown goes beyond 30 days, states could have to step up with contingency plans, or we could see delays in benefits. Now, those who receive benefits from the program for women, infants, and children could feel the impact sooner. The WIC program provides benefits for food and baby formula, and in Pennsylvania, it's almost completely reliant on federal funds.
But for WIC, the difficulty here is when there's a threat of a government shutdown, or as in the case a handful of years ago, the federal government did shut down for about 35 days. You know, we do see that is going to have an impact to programs.
I've been on the phone with people all day. It is unclear if and when benefits could be disrupted for SNAP and WIC recipients, and whether states could offer temporary funds to offset the delays. For now, though, the advice from people all across our area: continue to use your SNAP and WIC benefits as usual. We'll keep asking those questions. Natasha and Yuki.
All right, Liz, appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Federal employees will be the ones that see the most immediate impact. CBS Philadelphia's Dan Snyder joins us now with that angle of the story. Dan?
Yuki, Natasha, good evening to you both. You know, federal workers here at Independence Mall and elsewhere, many of them have gone through shutdowns before. They've dealt with the furloughs. They dealt with working while not receiving pay and still trying to pay their bills. But this year is a little different, as the administration now says it may outright lay off many federal workers. According to a memo from the White House Office of Management and Budget, it told agencies to consider reduction in force notices, basically layoffs at the federal level, if a shutdown comes to pass. According to the memo, layoffs could be considered for programs and projects where discretionary funding stops October 1st and in programs that are, quote, not consistent with the president's priorities. Federal data shows there are about 34,000 federal workers in the Philadelphia area. We spoke with union leaders on this today.
It should be based on efficiency and productivity, not based on whim and retaliation and anger at some political party. They should never, federal employees should never be a political football, and they have been way too many times.
Now, it's unclear at this point when any of these reduction in force notices could go out, which agencies could be impacted.
40, a new policy now in effect, changing SNAP benefits for millions of Americans. The program currently supports about 40 million people, but the Congressional Budget Office estimates 2.4 million fewer will qualify each month. Families could lose anywhere from $72 to more than $200 in support. Experts say discount retailers like Walmart and Costco could benefit as shoppers look to stretch their dollars, but smaller independent grocers in smaller communities and low-income areas are bracing for the biggest hit.
Missouri could soon ban buying candy and soda with food stamps. Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe sent a request today to the Department of Agriculture to alter Missouri's Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. In a statement, the governor says this will allow Missouri to, quote, refocus our SNAP program to maximize nutritional health for low-income families while also supporting the abundant agricultural output of our state. The request opens a 30-day comment period. The Trump administration has already approved similar waivers for Iowa and Nebraska.
Many people who rely on food assistance are wondering if they're going to lose out on their benefits. The massive budget spending bill that was signed by President Trump is set to make significant cuts to the SNAP program. That's a program that was formerly known as food stamps. According to the California Budget and Policy Center, about 175,000 residents in the Bay Area are at risk of losing their benefits. Max Darrow talked to a mother who relies on that assistance to feed her family.
After another long night shift,
Soy janitor en la noche.
working as an overnight janitor, Deanna is back to work with the full-time job that gives her purpose, parenting. She's doing some prep work for tonight's dinner.
A mis niñas les gusta con arroz.
She and her husband both work to support their 3 kids, who are 5, 10, and 17, who all live together in a small San Jose apartment. But even with the both of them working,
Es difícil.
it's difficult, she says, to pay for basic necessities. So, like many families, hers is buoyed by SNAP, known as CalFresh locally. Food stamps help her buy the essentials,
Todo tipo de frutas, verduras.
fruits, veggies, and meat, so she can cook every meal. Going out to eat isn't really an option.
Si yo no tuviera CalFresh,
She says if she didn't have food assistance, she'd have to get another job just so her family could live paycheck to paycheck. And like many SNAP recipients across America right now, that thought is top of mind for Deanna.
That was a good one.
The Trump administration's so-called Big Beautiful Bill, which GOP lawmakers passed by a narrow margin, including a tie-breaking vote in the Senate by Vice President J.D. Vance,
The bill as amended is passed.
slashes billions of dollars in federal funding for SNAP. Over time, it will shift the bulk of the financial responsibility to individual states. The Trump administration says SNAP has failed those who truly need it, and the move will eliminate fraud, waste, and abuse. However, Leslie Botch, CEO of Second Harvest of Silicon Valley, says otherwise.
SNAP is the most effective anti-hunger program, and this is the largest cut in the history of the program.
Bacho says more than 100,000 households in Santa Clara and San Mateo counties receive SNAP benefits. If these benefits are, in fact, cut, how do you think that will affect the food bank?
Well, we know that when SNAP benefits are cut, our lines get longer.
And the timing couldn't be worse for food banks, currently trying to do more with less to serve a historic level of need. Bacho says Second Harvest currently serves about 500,000 people a month, from those living paycheck to paycheck, to children, to seniors on fixed incomes.
It's going to be tough. There's no doubt about it. It's impossible to replace this kind of federal funding. I mean, we need real policy change, but until that happens, the burden is going to fall to the philanthropic sector. The burden is going to fall to all of us to decide how to take care of our neighbors.
Nothing has changed yet. Deanna says she's nervous and has a lot of questions.
sí estoy preocupada, pero si
However, she says she knows SNAP's future is out of her control. She hopes her situation doesn't change. But if it does, she says she'll do what she needs to do to ensure her family has food in the fridge.
que no te lo parto.
And in the present moment, she'll remain grateful for the status quo.
No.
Second Harvest is urging people who are currently